This is Chris Medeiros. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Medeiros, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, it'll all be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Friday Night SmackDown March 11th, 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown, and we're going to be talking about the first segment where we had the WWE Champion Brock Lesnar. He came out to the ring, and of course he's pissed off about what happened this past Saturday at Madison Square Garden at a live event where Roman Reigns attacked him from behind, bloodying him all up, laying him out on top of the steel steps. And so yeah, Brock Lesnar came out pissed off, of course, about that, and he was talking about how Roman Reigns actually got him to put some stitches in and all that. And he says, just for this, nobody lives to tell the tale of bloodying up Brock Lesnar. And Lesnar then started calling out Roman Reigns, but instead of Roman Reigns coming out, we got Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman came out and he says, Brock, for your own safety, Roman Reigns is not here tonight. So apparently Roman Reigns is not there on SmackDown tonight. And Brock Lesnar looks at Paul Heyman and he goes like, well, Roman's probably not here, so that means who's going to protect you? And then you see Paul Heyman, because he was smiling the whole time, and you see Paul Heyman smile, straight up go down, terrified, and he starts running to the back, and then Brock Lesnar starts chasing him from behind, chasing him in the back, and Paul Heyman is telling security guards to get Brock Lesnar, and he starts bolting still, and the security guards try to stop Brock Lesnar, but then Brock Lesnar straight up throwing him across the backstage area, beating him down and everything. And while he was still chasing Paul Heyman after he beat the security guards down, Heyman already done jumped in the car and sped off. So yeah, that's what happened. Lesnar was still pissed off in the backstage area, and pretty much he's been wanting to get his hands on Paul Heyman, but Heyman quickly left out. So yeah, that's what happened. Crazy stuff going on SmackDown. But then we get an interview backstage, and it was with Sheamus and Ridge Holland, and they're facing off against the New Day tonight on SmackDown, which that match will be happening up next. So yeah, that'll be the first match of the night. And they was talking about, they had sledgehammers in their hands, and they was getting told "Boy, y'all bringing down the sledgehammers to the ring?" He goes, and Sheamus is like, "Nah, we ain't gonna bring sledgehammers down. We just got a friend that we're going to be bringing down, and we call him Butch." And then all of a sudden, it was Pete Dunne. So yeah, Pete Dunne looks like he's making his SmackDown debut, possibly done with NXT now, coming up to the main roster. And I hope that name that they just gave him, Butch, I really hope that's a joke. I hope he gets to keep the name Pete Dunne. So yeah, hopefully he gets to keep the name Pete Dunne. But yeah, Pete Dunne's making his debut on SmackDown as well. So yeah, that's happening now. But yeah, up next we're going to see Kofi Kingston, Big E, The New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland with Pete Dunne at ringside up next on SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a tag team match. It was Kofi Kingston and Big E, The New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland with Pete Dunne at ringside in a tag team match. And yeah, they introduced Pete Dunne as Butch. So yeah, it looks like that is his new name now. It's sadly that they really changed his name. It's a stupid name that they changed it to. So yeah, Pete Dunne is now known as Butch. Rest in peace, Pete Dunne. You was a good name. But yep, his name is Butch now on the main roster on SmackDown, which it kind of don't make sense because he's aligned with Sheamus and Ridge Holland, and him and Ridge Holland had a feud on NXT when Ridge Holland returned to NXT. So yeah, I guess they're best friends now. And last time we checked, Pete Dunne was actually a babyface on NXT, and now he's a heel, aligning himself with Sheamus and Ridge Holland because, of course, of what his nationality is now. So yeah, whatever. So yeah, he's aligning himself now with Rich Holland and Sheamus, and then we get the tag team match out of the way. And at the ending of this match, it looked like Big E, he was trying to spear Rich Holland off the ring apron, but Rich Holland pulled down the second rope where Big E went through, and he landed on his back pretty hard on the floor, but he landed on his back. But then Rich Holland was hitting a belly-to-belly suplex onto Big E outside of the ring. And Big E actually had a very nasty landing on the top of his head outside of the ring. Hopefully he's okay, but he was not in the match at all after that. And apparently, people was, doctors and stuff was checking on him at ringside. So yeah, if he's injured or whatever, I'll keep everybody updated about that. But yeah, it was a nasty landing with Big E outside of the ring. And of course, Kofi Kingston was worried about him, but then he got rolled up from Sheamus. He kicked out at 2. He took down Sheamus. He climbed up the top turnbuckle, and Rich Holland was trying to get Kofi Kingston off the top turnbuckle. Kingston kicked him off the apron, and then Pete Dunne was on the ring apron staring Kofi Kingston in the eyes, and then it distracted Kofi Kingston enough that he gets hit with a bro kick by Sheamus, and then he falls off the top turnbuckle back into the ring. And then he got pinned for the 3 count. So yeah, Sheamus and Rich Holland defeated Kofi Kingston, Big E, the New Day tonight in a tag team match. That's what happened. It was an okay tag team match, but that nasty landing from Big E, it was a bad one. He's probably going to be injured, but hopefully he's okay. I really hope he is. But yeah, if he's injured or whatever, I'll keep everybody updated about that. But yeah, it was a nasty landing from that move. But yeah, for that match and everything, I'll just give it 1.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It sucks that they changed Pete Dunne's name as Butch now, and then that injury from Big E landing on the top of his head. But yeah, like I said, hopefully he's okay. But yeah, so yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was supposed to be a 6-man tag team match. But before I talk about that match, we got to talk about Sami Zayn. Now, Sami Zayn was having an interview backstage talking about Johnny Knoxville and everything, and how he lost the Intercontinental Championship against Ricochet last week on SmackDown. So Sami Zayn was pretty much saying that if Johnny Knoxville wants him, he could get him at WrestleMania. And you know what? Make it even better. He said he's going to win back the Intercontinental Championship tonight against Ricochet. So yeah, that match between Ricochet and Sami Zayn for the IC title will be happening tonight on SmackDown. Last week they had a good match, and now this week is going to be the rematch. But yeah, Sami Zayn said when he wins back the Intercontinental Championship, he'll defend it against Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania. So yeah, that's what he said. But then we get to the match. It was supposed to be a 6-man tag team match. It was supposed to be Drew McIntyre and the Viking Raiders versus I can't remember who the 3 people that they was going to face. It was supposed to be, I think, like Jinder Mahal, Shanky, and Madcap Moss, I think. And yeah, or maybe Happy Corbin was supposed to be involved. I'm not for sure. But yeah, what happened was, Drew McIntyre comes down to the ring, and then the Viking Raiders theme song hits, and they were supposed to come down to the ring, but instead they was getting beat down backstage from Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, Jinder Mahal, and Shanky. So yeah, they got beat down backstage. Drew McIntyre then, he starts going up the ramp, but then Happy Corbin's theme song hits. Jinder Mahal and Shanky comes out. They get beaten up, and Madcap Moss gets hit with a belly-to-belly suplex onto the ramp outside the ring. And then Happy Corbin was going to attack Drew McIntyre from behind, but McIntyre turns back around, staring at Happy Corbin. But then Jinder Mahal grabs Drew by the foot, distracting him pretty much, while Drew was fighting Jinder off. And then Happy Corbin then attacks Drew McIntyre. And then, of course, the number game was, the numbers game was on Drew McIntyre. Then they threw him into the ring post, into the barricade, throws him back in the ring, beating the shit out of him and everything. But then Drew McIntyre started fighting back, beat down everybody, and then Happy Corbin did not want none of it. He quickly got out of the ring, and then Drew McIntyre then beats down Shanky and stuff, and then he grabs a sword, and then he points at the WrestleMania sign, pretty much giving the signal that, hey, I want to be meeting you at Mania, so you better prepare. So yeah, That's what happened. It was an okay segment and all that. But yep, that's what happened. And we did get a response from Stone Cold Steve Austin as well. We got the video where Steve Austin said he will go to WrestleMania on the KO show and beat Kevin Owens' ass. So yeah, the match probably won't happen between them two. But Stone Cold will be at WrestleMania on the KO show. So yeah, that will be happening. And then there'll probably be a stunner, and then that'll be it. Or maybe a match like John Cena Undertaker, when a match is like 30 seconds or whatever, and ends so quick from a stunner. So yeah, maybe that will happen. So don't expect a full match between Stone Cold and Kevin Owens, like a 10-minute, 5-minute match or nothing. It ain't gonna happen. But yep, like I said, that's what happened on the segment. But up next, we're gonna see Ronda Rousey on SmackDown up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, Ronda Rousey came out to the ring and pretty much she was talking about Charlotte Flair, how she made Charlotte Flair tap out last week by the ankle lock. And, Ronda Rousey said, since she's been home for the last few years, haven't been in the ring, she not only has she's been like raising her child and, horses and all that stuff. She says she's been trying to improve the ankle lock after learning it from her first mentor in the WWE by Kurt Angle. So yeah, she says she's going to use Kurt Angle's move to make Charlotte Flair tap out again at WrestleMania. That's what she said. And then, Charlotte Flair comes out, and Charlotte Flair telling Ronda Rousey how she ain't going to make her tap out at all from the ankle lock. Last week she got lucky, and at WrestleMania it ain't going to happen because she's going to make her tap out by the figure eight. So yeah, that's what Charlotte Flair said. And Ronda Rousey said, well, how about this? If you're going to make me tap out, go ahead and try. This time I'll let you take off your heels. That's what Rousey said. And then Charlotte, she goes to the corner, and like she'll probably do it, but then, of course, she doesn't. She gets out the ring, and she says, nah, we ain't gonna lay hands on each other. We're gonna wait until WrestleMania. And she walks away. And then of course, you get Ronda Rousey pointing at the WrestleMania sign. So yeah, that's what happened. But then, of course, we get updates that Brock Lesnar has now left the arena tonight. So yeah, Lesnar has now left the arena. But yeah, it was a pretty good segment between Rousey and Charlotte Flair. Pretty good. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happens on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a tag team match. It was Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler in a tag team match. Now we have the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Carmella and Zelina Vega, watching this match from ringside. But at the ending of this match, at one point we seen Sasha Banks doing like a baseball slide, hurricanrana, hit scissors or whatever, onto Natalya, into Zelina and Carmella. And pretty much it pissed off Carmella and Zelina. Sasha then throws Natalya back into the ring. She gets in the ring, and then Shayna Baszler was trying to get involved, but Naomi jumps off the steel steps with a crossbody onto Shayna Baszler, taking her and Shayna out. And then, Zelina Vega gets on the ring apron, distracting Sasha Banks, and then Sasha Banks turns around. She gets hit with a discus clothesline by Natalya, gets pinned. She kicked out at 2, and Zelina Vega's still on the ring apron. And, Natalya was trying to throw Sasha Banks into the ropes, but Sasha Banks reverses it and throws Natalya into Zelina Vega, knocking her off the ring apron. And then Sasha Banks then hits the code breaker onto Natalya, and then get the 3 count. So yeah, Sasha Banks and Naomi defeated Natalya and Shayna Baszler tonight in a tag team match. That's what happened. Pretty good match between the women. Nothing big really. Just the match for Naomi and Sasha Banks to pretty much build up that chemistry a little bit, I guess. But yeah, that's what happened. And yep, for that match, I'll just give it 1 star. It was an okay match. But yep, that's what happened. But up next, we're going to see the Usos coming. They came out to the ring, and it looks like the segment is going to be them unlocking the penitentiary, pretty much announcing what's their WrestleMania plans. So yeah, that'll be up next on SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was a one-on-one match. But before I talk about that match, we seen the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. They come out and pretty much it was talking about their plans for WrestleMania, and they was like, well, it looks like we don't got nobody to face for our SmackDown Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania. And then all of a sudden Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs come out because, they got attacked last week from the Usos. And Rick Boogs said, well, me and Shinsuke's a tag team and we want to face y'all for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. And Jey Uso, he was talking, he said, hey, if you could beat me in a match, then y'all could get y'all SmackDown tag team title match at WrestleMania. So yeah, we get the one-on-one match. It was Jey Uso versus Rick Boogs one-on-one. Now Jimmy Uso and Shinsuke Nakamura was at ringside. So yeah, it was an okay match. At the ending of this match, we seen Jimmy Uso try to interfere and stuff, getting on the ring apron. Shinsuke comes up, knocks him off the ring apron, and then he gets hit with a super kick from Jimmy Uso, getting laid out. And then Rick Boogs just distracted. He gets rolled up. He kicked out at 2. But then at the ending, he managed to hit that pump handle slam onto Jey Uso and then pin him for the 3 count. So yeah, Rick Boogs defeated Jey Uso tonight on SmackDown. It looks like at WrestleMania we'll get Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. So yeah, that's what's going to be happening. But then after the match ended, Jimmy Uso then attacked Rick Boogs, hitting him in the back with a guitar, laying him out. So yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, for that match, I'll just give it 1 star. It was an okay match, but yep. But up next, we're going to see the main event. It will be the Intercontinental Champion Ricochet versus Sami Zayn up next for the Intercontinental Championship. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, we were supposed to go straight into the main event. So it was going to be the Intercontinental Champion Ricochet versus Sami Zayn one-on-one for the Intercontinental Championship. But then all of a sudden, Austin Theory comes out and he sits right next to Pat McAfee. It looks like he was going to watch this match go down, but instead he gets up, gets in Pat McAfee's face, slaps him, and Pat McAfee then had enough, and he jumps off the announce table onto Austin Theory, and then both of them starts brawling and stuff. Security guards comes up and breaks him up and stuff, and Michael Cole was trying to get Pat McAfee to chill out, and yeah, he wouldn't chill out, and then they kept on brawling and everything. It was pretty wild and stuff, but yep, that's what happened. And Sami Zayn and Ricochet was watching that, and then the security guards and stuff kicked Pat McAfee and Austin Theory out of the arena. So yep, that's what happened. It looks like Michael Cole will be the only one commentating this match on SmackDown now. So yeah, up next we're going to see the Intercontinental Champion Ricochet versus Sami Zayn one-on-one for the Intercontinental Championship. So yeah, that will be up next. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, it was the main event. It was the Intercontinental Champion Ricochet versus Sami Zayn one-on-one for the Intercontinental Championship. This match went about 13 minutes probably. But yeah, it was a pretty good match. Best match of the night. Like I said, these two guys had a match last week on SmackDown, and that's when Ricochet won the Intercontinental Championship. And that match was match of the night last week and match of the night tonight. So yeah, these two guys throwing some pretty good matches when they given enough time and stuff. So yeah, this is Ricochet's first title defense, and it's against Sami Zayn when Sami Zayn wants a rematch. And Johnny Knoxville is not, he's not on SmackDown. So yeah, and Michael Cole is the only one commentating on this match because Pat McAfee got escorted out the arena. So yeah, that's what's going on there. But this match, like I said, was pretty good. At one point, Ricochet rolled Sami Zayn up, and he barely kicked out at 2. But then at the ending of this match, we seen Sami Zayn hitting a superplex or like a belly-to-belly suplex, pretty much, off the top turnbuckle on the Ricochet into the ring. And then he was setting up for the Helluva Kick onto him, but then Ricochet reverses it by spinning him around and hitting the recoil onto Sami Zayn, and then he climbs up the top turnbuckle and hits the 630 splash, the 630 senton onto Sami Zayn, and then he pins him for the 3 count. So yeah, Ricochet defeated Sami Zayn tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. That's what happened, and Ricochet has retained the Intercontinental Championship. So yeah, like I said, it was a pretty good match, but then after the match ended, some stuff was going on backstage, and it was Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey. They was both brawling backstage, beating the hell out of each other. Security guards was trying to break them up, and they started beating up the security guards. But then we seen Charlotte Flair started getting the upper hand after hitting a big boot onto Ronda Rousey, and she pretty much hit a belly-to-belly suplex onto Ronda Rousey on the hood of the car. And then she locks on like a submission hold, pretty much choking her out. Got her fingers in Ronda Rousey's mouth and all that, bending her backwards pretty much. But yeah, that's what happened there. And pretty much then she grabs her head and smashes it on the hood of the car again. So yeah, laying her out. So yeah, Charlotte Flair laid Ronda Rousey out backstage. That's what happened. But yeah, tonight's Friday Night SmackDown was a pretty good SmackDown tonight. Not a lot of matches, but it was still a good one. Sami Zayn versus Ricochet was match of the night, obviously. That match was pretty good, which rating, I'll give that match 3 stars. That's why I'll give that one. Pretty good match between those two guys. Sasha Banks and Naomi versus Shayna Baszler and Natalya was pretty good as well. It was a good, okay match. They didn't give an update about Big E when he landed on the top of his head tonight, but that match was an okay match, other than that scary move with Big E landing on the top of his head. And we got Jey Uso versus Rick Boogs. It was okay. The segment between Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair was okay. And then, of course, Brock Lesnar chasing Paul Heyman was pretty great. So, yeah. Best segment of the night, Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman easily. But best match of the night, Ricochet and Sami Zayn. So, yeah, pretty good stuff on SmackDown for tonight's Friday Night SmackDown. I'll give it 7 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was okay SmackDown. But, yeah, up next I'll be doing my AEW Rampage review. So, yeah, like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris. Subscribe to this channel, Chris Videos. And follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And, yeah, I'll see you guys later. And so, later on tonight while I'm doing my AEW Rampage reviews. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then.